Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today I have some somber news to share with you. Many of you probably already know this, but it's taken me a few days to be able to muster the courage to make this video, and honestly I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it today, but I'm doing my best here. And it's with a heavy heart that I have to inform all of you of the passing of Max. You may know him better as Puppers, that he succumbed to ALS on 2nd, 2023, roughly 3 years after his diagnosis. Max is a fellow fog whisperer and just a beacon, a shining light in our community of Dead by Daylight, and a testament to that is the fact that roughly almost 5 million people have seen this tweet about Max's passing. It's a day that we all knew was coming. I don't know that we knew that it was going to come this soon, but knowing that ALS has no cure, be a matter of time. Light in the Fog here that did the retweet. This is the organization that has run the DVD fundraiser for the last couple of years so that Max would be cared for as his condition deteriorated. ALS is a motor neuron disorder, and he was slowly losing control of voluntary muscles in his body. And it got to the point where he started losing control of the involuntary stuff, and he passed away at the hospital on June the 2nd. I can't thank Puppers Caregivers enough, Sunshine, Ashley, and Silver, who not only stayed around the clock with Puppers until the very end, but also let us know that Max's condition had taken a turn for the worse and there were only days left. They're angels on earth, if you ask me, for the job that they did, being true friends, him to the end, and not only caring for him, but also letting us know about his condition and setting up the Kudo Boards so that we could all send messages to Max and express what he meant to us and how we felt about him, so that there was never any doubt on, the final moments of his journey on this earth, for us to let us know how we felt about him. They set up not one, but 2 of these Kudo boards because there was just such an overwhelming response of people who wanted to reach out to Max and say their farewells to him and let them know how much he was loved by the community. There was so many messages that the first board broke and they had to set up a second one. I'll have links to both of these if you want to take some time to read through all of the messages that people sent out to Max. Even Dead by Daylight put one out here. This was Dead by Daylight's message on the Kudo board. There are no words to properly express what you, Puppers, mean to the Dead by Daylight team, but we will try. The first thing we noticed about you was your passion, charm, and striking resemblance to Dwight. Later, through laughing with you in your locker cosplay, we discovered your sense of humor. It didn't take long for the team to fall in love with you as a content creator. You made hanging out in your stream special by making everyone feel welcome, and your charisma always made it a good time. Puppers, you're a shining example of how you're a shining example of how the greatest entertainers are those who dedicate their energy to building a loving community with their work. Your light is so bright it draws people in. We're honored to have you as a fog whisperer, not just for your streaming skills, but for the way you've always been generous and helpful toward our team itself. It's hard to quantify in how many positive ways you've impacted our lives and Dead by Daylight. Thank you for all the days you've made brighter in our community. There have been more of them than we can count, and we're forever grateful. We'll forever be honored you chose to make your home with us in the fog. There's a reason you've been dubbed a light in the fog. Your joy and love make it a better place. From the Dead by Daylight team. And then after the news of his passing, they wrote, "Thank you for finding a home in the fog. Your joy and love made it a better place, and it was an honor to be comfy with you. Puppers was and always will be one of the brightest lights in the fog. Everyone that light touched is forever changed by having known him." As I said, almost 5 people saw this tweet, and it's just a testament to how well known and well liked he was in the community, not only with those Kudo board messages, but also BBC News picked up the story in the technology sector announcing Puppers' passing here. Popular streamer Puppers has died at age 32, 3 years after being diagnosed with motor neuron disease. The US Twitch streamer rose to fame playing survival game Dead by Daylight, where he was known for his positivity. The game's community rallied around him following his diagnosis and set up the Light in the Fog Foundation, raising $270,000 to support his care. In a reference to his catchphrase, the foundation said Puppers was forever in our hearts, eternally comfy. Puppers, also known as Max, would end his streams by telling fans to stay comfy because if you're comfy, you're winning. The streamer was diagnosed with ALS, the most common form of motor neuron disease, in 2020. It affects the brain and nerves and causes weakness that gets worse over time, according to the National Health Service. There is no cure for the disease, but there are treatments to help reduce the impact on a person's daily life. A post on his Twitter page confirmed his death, saying he loved you all so very much. Thank you for all the love and support throughout his career. Making you all happy is truly what he lived for. A beacon of positivity. When Max was diagnosed with ALS, his friends, known by their online usernames Ashley, Sunshine, and Silver, moved across the country to provide care and support. Being his caregiver as he fought this absolutely awful disease was the biggest test and the biggest joy of my life, Sunshine told the BBC. I'll never forget him, and a piece of my heart will remain empty without him. Silver said they will always remember Max's laugh and playing Dead by Daylight beside him, and Ashley called the streamer a beacon of positivity. I can't think of a single person who has had a greater impact on my life or the lives of so many, they said. I wouldn't trade a second of these last 2 years I had with him for anything. The three said they were devastated when Max was diagnosed and set up Light in the Fog to help. More than 150 Dead by Daylight streamers collaborated in the multi-day event to raise money for his treatment and care, which was boosted by endorsements from online personalities including Mr. Beast, the most subscribed YouTuber in the world. The group are now asking the community for additional money to help cover his funeral costs as well as outstanding medical costs from his treatment. There's been an outpouring of support from the wider gaming community, which has called him a true gaming champion and a kind soul that we didn't deserve. The developers of the Dead by Daylight, who had previously added an item in the game to honor him, called him one of the brightest lights in the fog, a feature which helps players stay hidden from each other. Meanwhile, hundreds of posts from fans responding to the news echoed Puppers' signature sign-off, "Rest easy," and many posts said, "Stay comfy." So, yeah, there is a GoFundMe if you would like to help towards the final expenses for Puppers and Max. If you want to contribute, help care for Max one last time for his memorial service. They do have a GoFundMe. I'll have the link in the description of the video here. And they've almost met the goal here, $30,000. This is supposed to pay for his, as it said, funeral costs and any other outstanding medical bills that he may have incurred because he had 2 ambulance trips and his final stay in the hospital. I'll have the link for that if you're able to contribute to that as well. If you haven't done so already, you can still redeem the code warriorpuppers in game, all one word, to get this charm to honor Max in the fog. From a personal standpoint, I met Max at Boston PAX in 2020, just before he was diagnosed, and I always tell people that Max was exactly what you saw. Like, he was the person that you saw on stream. He was just friendly, full of joy, and just a super nice person, and you know, somebody that everybody wanted to be around. And I call him a streamer, one of the best showmen and bringing entertainment value like nobody else I've ever seen on Twitch. And obviously that all resonated with his community to allow him to gather the audience that he had. And I miss him terribly, but at the same time, I just feel like, you know, I'm happy that he's at rest, because how long did I want that man to go on suffering for me, you know? So it's definitely a loss for us all, but I didn't want to see him suffer anymore. And I know that, you know, none of us knows what the future holds. None of us knows what life has in store for us. And I know that this isn't what Max envisioned for his life. He even tweeted himself, "I wanted to have kids, get married, and make my father proud by living a good life, helping people, since he died so early from multiple sclerosis. But none of that will ever happen. I won't even outlive my father. I won't even make it to 40, which was prophetic, as he passed away at 32. And I expressed this to Max in a reply to this tweet, and I think that from all the Kudo messages that everyone sent him, it's my hope that in the end that he realized that he did help people. He helped so many people just by being who he was and sharing his joy and light with us on stream as he did, that in itself helped so many people. And you can see by the outpouring of Kudo board messages and the amount of people exposed to that tweet and expressing their condolences, that he touched more lives than the average person could ever hope or dream of doing. And while he was cut down short, and it's a loss for us all, I think that he definitely is a person that we are never, ever going to forget. And we were lucky to have him in our community. And it's my hope that in some capacity, the Light in the Fog event will continue posthumously in his honor, whether it be to raise money for ALS research and charities. That could be his legacy, as long as Dead by Daylight goes on, that there will be an annual Light in the Fog tournament in his name to help support ALS research and charity. So it's all a little early for any of that. I know that there are plans to continue Light in the Fog, and I know people have questions about what will happen to Puppers channel and things like that. And I talked to Sunshine a little bit about it, and she said she's going to put out like an FAQ answers for those kinds of questions. But it's all very early, and, you know, we have to let the people closest to him grieve for some time. I'm sure they're all just going through the paces right now, and it hasn't really hit them, and it's gonna hit them even harder than they imagine. So we have to give them time for their own grief. But I do know that they said Light in the Fog 3 will happen. Not sure when yet, and then they'll answer those questions about what will happen to Max's own channel going forward from here. That's all I have to share with you today. I'll have the link to the GoFundMe if you want to contribute to that. In fact, you're contributing to the GoFundMe just by watching this video. I wasn't going to monetize it, but then I decided that I would monetize it with the sole purpose of using any ad revenue from this video to contribute to the GoFundMe or Light in the Fog 3. So you're helping just by watching the video, and I thank you for that. And now I'm going to leave you with one of Max's most famous clips of him cosplaying as the Locker, which is hilarious. And Max, we all love you. Rest in peace. Till we meet again. Goodbye.
Is this safe? Oh no, there's killers? Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, I'm safe now. I feel safer, much safer now.